And in this one scene, Copland uses at least half a dozen cowboy tunes in his very own way. Here's one of them in the original, called Get Along Little Dogies. When I was out walking one morning for pleasure, I met a young cowboy a-riding along. His hat was thrown back and his spurs was a-jingling. As he approached, he was singing this song. Yippee-oh-tie-ay, get along, little doggies. It's your misfortune and none of my own. Yippee-oh-tie-ay, get along, you little doggies. You know Wyoming will be your new home. Now, yeah. That doesn't deserve a hand. However, wait till you hear what happens when Copland gets hold of that in his ballet. Like this spot where he completely changes the rhythm of that tune and throws in a couple of peppery dissonances, and out comes this. See? Now he's even added a typical cowboy yodel at the end. Yupo, deepo. And then he takes that little yodel and turns it into a loping horseback rhythm, which in turn becomes the accompaniment for the next tune, which sounds like this. Now, isn't that great? Now, that new tune you just heard comes from an old pioneer ballad called Great Granddad, which goes like this. Great Granddad, when the land was young, barred the door with a wagon tongue, for the time was rough, and the redskins mocked, and he said his prayers when the start got cocked. It's a tongue twister. Anyway, now look at what else Copland does with that little old ditty. Now, can you tell what happened to that tune this time? The tune itself remained practically the same as I sang it, in a straight two beat. Yup, yup, but the accompaniment was, of all things, a waltz rhythm in three. Listen. And that rhythm works directly against the rhythm of the tune, so that you get a real Copland case of cross rhythms. You see? And that's what makes the difference between a mere arrangement and really original music. And then he does the same trick of cross rhythms, only using the first tune about the little dogies in a sort of variation, and it comes out sounding like this. You see what fun he has with that tune, how original he makes it sound. But if you think that's far out rhythm, listen to what he does with this tune, which is called Trouble for the Range Cook. You may not know it under that title, but everybody knows this tune, I'm sure. Come wrangle your bronco and saddle him quick. The cook is in trouble down there by the creek. I guess you know that too. Well, it's a naive little number, and this one gets really rough treatment because Copland puts it into the cockeyed meter of 5/8 time with a 4/8 thrown in here and there just to make it a little more cockeyed, and out comes this Mexican jarabe. How's that for a transformation? From a little innocent waltz into a real symphonic grabber.